So, whether you like the Los Angeles Lakers or not, when you put two of the best players in the league on the same team, this is when things become a nightmare for the opposing squad. Never in a million years did we think we would see LeBron James and Luka Doncic on the same team, and it's still crazy to hear this at times.
Luka inside LeBron.
The way both of these two can influence the game is out of this world, and what makes them such a dominant force is that if one of them is having a bad game, the other one can carry the load if needed, and let's say they're both connecting on all cylinders, well, this is when you're in a world of trouble. When you see them run certain actions, you can see how effective they could be in the playoffs. Such as here, LeBron is going to come off a pin down from Gabe Vincent, but I want you to look at the floor. Luka Doncic of course attracts a lot of attention, so that's why OG is up close and tight in his space, allowing for LeBron to flow perfectly into a curl when catching the ball. Now at this moment, you can see the Lakers only have one other player on this side of the floor, and they choose Austin Reeves because he can either shoot the ball or he can put it on the deck to go score if Michael helps out. This here puts the Knicks in a predicament to either help over on this LeBron drive or stay home, and when it's one-on-one ball with King James, you might as well put 2 points on the board. Time and time again, you'll see this Lakers offense seamlessly connect with one another to find the best look on the floor, and with them having so much firepower on the offensive side, you'll see teams go into a zone to stop them, but in basketball, player gravity and ball movement can completely destroy a defense. Now what exactly do I mean by that? Well, when you're talking about Luka, the defense will make sure to focus on him to not let him get anything easy, and with some miscommunication, two defenders end up closing out on him. So without a dribble, he sends it right down to Hayes in the dunker spot. This now makes one defender shift over to Jackson, while Kelly on this backside now has to drop to cover the middle while watching out for any cuts. As we all can see, LeBron is starting to cut down the middle of the lane, so Hayes can now send it to Brown without dribbling as well, and with the defense shifting one more time, James can drop it off to Vando for the backside slam. Yeah, if you're not aware of where everyone is at on the floor and what they're doing, you're gonna give up easy buckets. And don't think for 1 second you can afford to be down a man in transition, because when you leave LeBron uncovered with a head of steam in the open court, it's pretty much a done deal. These breakdowns of the defense can truly be detrimental since you have two guys who can pick apart your defense every time down the floor, and on this play here, we're gonna see Luka come off a screen from Hayes and Brown decides to help over. Now any other time, this might be a solid thing to do so you stop Luka from attacking further, but you gotta remember that you're dealing with a guy that makes the right read 9 times out of 10, and then you're also dealing with a guy who is shooting 39% from deep on the season. I know a lot of people didn't think these two would work well next to each other since they've been ball dominant players throughout their career, but with LeBron working on his off-ball game and Luka being able to attract the attention of 3 Knicks defenders on the drive, he now has the option to either hit Finney-Smith in the corner or LeBron in the slot area, and although LeBron has been a dependable floor spacer, he decides to rush towards the basket once receiving the ball, and like we said earlier, no one wants to step in the line of destruction when LeBron has a head of steam. Say all you want about these two, but when you see the way they can use each other on the floor, you have to appreciate the beautiful basketball that's being played. When pushing up the court now, LeBron can get stopped and feel comfortable as he knows he has a fearless scorer in Luka ready to send it up from deep. And on the flip side, when Doncic gets stopped on his drive, he's able to find the guy who has 50,000 total points. Luka's ability to manipulate the defense is something we've covered on this channel in great detail, and it's within these pick and roll options where we see it the most. With 3 Pelican defenders right in front of Luka trying to block his vision and not let him get anything easy, this forces Zion to rotate over to take Hayes on the roll. Now yes, this is what you want to take away as Luka goes to this often, but once again, you can't allow for anyone to be open, or else Doncic will make sure you pay for it. For the defense, stopping Luka from hitting the paint is the most ideal thing they want to do, but let's be honest, he can break past his defender with ease, and at this point, you just have to buy tickets to the magic show. Some of these passes Luka makes is truly ridiculous, as it'll seem like there's nowhere to go, but if you leave him any angle to maneuver around your defense, well, he'll find a way to still find an open man. You can see on this play here that the help defender is already eager to get into the middle of the lane to help on a Luka drive, and yeah, he does have the right idea. So once Luka gets into the lane, the big is in perfect position to help. Now hold on 1 second, listen to what I just said, he's in perfect position to help. But he's not in perfect position to stop the alley-oop connection when Doncic blends his floater into a lob over the top. Yeah, there's many ways Doncic can set up his guys for easy looks around the rim simply because he understands how to pull the defense away from the basket, allowing for rollers to have an open runway, and by the time anyone notices, LAX is open for business. Now I know we love these live passes because they bring highlight plays, but in basketball you can't be predictable, as that will get you shut down fast. So after some times of showing the defense that you can keep slamming it on their head, you're going to see them react hard to the 2-man game when Hayes rolls towards the rim, but right now all you've done is invite Luka to an all-you-can-eat buffet. With Doncic, he doesn't like to eat alone as he instead likes to share his plate, so with a no look to connect, he can now attack the hard closeout of Michael Bridges to go right by him, and with some contact he still finishes the bucket. Now I get it, I know, some of you are probably tired about the passing and don't think it's that interesting, but honestly, this is what jumpstarts Luka's game. When he can shift the defense in different ways and basically play a game of chess with them, it turns every possession into a mini game, but it's all house rules. Any way Luka wants to play it, he can, and then when he's tired of passing and wants to bake you himself, this is where things get scary. Now the reason I say that is because it won't just be Luka scoring, as LeBron will be inserting his will also. This isn't to say that LeBron doesn't dish out his fair share of assists, because if you watch the games, you know he does. But when these two start picking apart your defense, this is when teams might as well hang it up. If you decide to keep your hands down when guarding Luka, this is probably one of the worst mistakes you can make, as he'll just send one up right over you. And believe me when I say it, it's not just a one-time thing, because even when a defender with length is matched up on him but has his hands to his side, Doncic will show no hesitation when letting it fly from 32 feet. Yeah boy, shots like that are just easy to Luka, as he's used to the defense smothering him to stop him from scoring. But hey, even when they do that and get an extremely good contest, it simply doesn't matter, and this one right here is straight cash. This absurd ability to create at all three levels makes Luka one of the hardest players to guard when he steps on the hardwood, as you never really know what's coming next, and by the time you catch on to what's going on, points are already in motion. Now, has Doncic always been doing this? Of course, but when you join the Lakers and LeBron James, it's quite different. Having this scoring power on a team like the Mavericks was great, but alongside LeBron James makes this even better. Because not only do defenders have to watch out for him, but as crazy as it sounds, they now have to look out for King James, who will play that second option at times, and this right here is just unfair. Like, let's be honest, how many teams around the league can say they have two players that could be talked about as the MVP of the league? Yeah, I can give you some time to think, but it's really not many. And I know some of you are like, LeBron should not be talked about as an MVP, he sucks, he's old, he's a crybaby, and blah 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 blah. But when you finally take off your hater shades of the Lakers and put on your basketball shades, you would then, and only then, to be able to appreciate what he's doing. To be 40 years old and still bullying guys to get a fade is just easy to LeBron at this point. And with defense is still scared of his downhill attacks, the bigs will be focused on getting ready to help rather than guarding their man on the backside, and that's where these lob connections become easy. Longevity in this game is something we're seeing more and more as technology and health studies advance, but it's really the drive and motivation that keeps you going at these later years. To still lace them up, make the correct reads, and be able to be dominant when you need to is something only a few can do, and it's a shame that people will call it glazing rather than appreciating the product that's in front of us. I do understand people's gripes about the Lakers always being covered and not other teams, but other than that, how can you not see the entertainment and high-level basketball that the Don and King James are showcasing behind a rookie coaching JJ Redick? P.S. Everyone say a prayer for me, as my Orlando Magic are breaking my heart this season. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, and if you want to stay up to date with breakdowns and analysis, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.